Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen, and today I'm going to make a very simple green chili. So as many of you know, I am from the great state of New Mexico, and one of our staple products, well actually two of our staple products, are red and green chilies. One of my favorite brands is Bueno green chilies. Now one of the things that you could do is you could take some dried chilies just like this, and you can soak them in hot water. You can put some onion, you can put some garlic, and you can steep them for about 20 minutes, and then you can blend them. And I do that when I have a lot of time, but when I have no time, I just go to the grocery store and buy Hatch green chili from New Mexico. Now, it is grown in this beautiful part of New Mexico called Hatch in the southern part of the state, and the chilies that we grow in New Mexico are very authentic to our state. And so it's one of the best things you can get if you go to New Mexico, my home state. Go visit Hatch, New Mexico. All right, now I'm gonna do something a little taboo. So normally when you make green chili in New Mexico, you start off with some sort of a fat like butter or oil, and then you add some flour and you brown that and make a roux, and then you add chicken stock and or beef stock, and you get a nice thick chili. Well, as many of you know, my journey with weight loss has really kind of challenged me to find better ways of doing things, and one of those ways is by using oatmeal. So don't anybody out there judge me until you see the end result, but I'm going to take some oatmeal and I'm going to pulverize that. Alright, so I've run the oatmeal through a food processor for a good 45 seconds, and you almost want to get a flour-like consistency. In fact, if you've gone to any of the higher-end grocery stores, you'll find almond flour, you'll find a lot of different types of flour. This is going to be almost to that consistency, so not as fine as all-purpose flour, but I'm just going to put that aside because we are going to use that in a little while. Next thing I want to do is I want to take a nice red onion. And I always tell everyone that I don't know why, I just love to use red onion. First of all, I think it looks beautiful, and then second of all, it tastes beautiful. So, red onion. And for this recipe, I'm going to use one whole red onion. If you're not making a huge batch, you can just do a half of an onion, but I'd like to use the whole one today. And while I get that going, I'm going to get my burner here on high heat with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And what I want to do is I just want to saute that onion once I get it in there so that it's nice and soft. I don't really want huge chunks. And in fact, if you're my nephew, you'll say, please don't put that much onion in mine. And usually I cook it, and he never even knows. So I'm going to take this onion, get that nice and cooked in there. And then to that, I'm going to add some salt, just a nice, maybe about a tablespoon. I am going to add a little bit of onion powder. I just think it gives it an additional depth of flavor that the onion won't. And I add a little bit of garlic powder. Now again, I think some of you may know that I'm not a huge fan of using powders. I like to use a lot of fresh herbs, but you know, herbs in the powder form have really come a long way, and so it is quite alright if you want to use any herbs and spices that are dried. So to that, I'm just gonna give that a little zhuzh here. And I'm gonna cover that, and I'm gonna let that cook for about 10 minutes. All right. So my onions have gone for a good 10 minutes, and they are nice and translucent, and they are ready to keep adding ingredients. So the next thing I want to do is take about 13 ounces of bueno chopped green chilies. Now you can find these in your grocery aisle, frozen section, and I just let those thaw out. It tastes like home. It makes me miss New Mexico, even though I'm in California. I use 13 ounces of chopped green chili, and you can find, this one is the mild, but you can find it in hot, you can find it in extra hot, you can find it in a medium. And so I just want to let that warm up for a second. And again, I like to make recipes that are very simple. I like to make recipes that don't take a lot, and I like to make recipes that are healthy or healthier. And last night we had chicken for dinner, so I just saved the renderings of the chicken, and I'm going to put about 13 ounces of chicken stock into that. And then remember a few minutes ago I pulverized some oatmeal. Here's the taboo part. New Mexico people, don't send me emails and say, you're ruining our chili. I'm just going to put about 1 cup of oats that have been pulverized. And it is tasteless. You're not going to have any weird flavor to that. You're not going to have any weird smell. And basically I'm going to give that just about 3 to 5 minutes and let that boil and thicken up. And you won't even miss that the roux is out of there. All right, our green chili has now gone. We have a nice pot of chili. 3 to 5 minutes is all it took to thicken up. Oh, that smells delightful. And look at how thick that is. It's just coming out nice and thick. I'll turn it off. And there it is. 15-minute green chili from Hatch, New Mexico. I gotta give that a taste there because it looks so good. Very flavorful. Again, my New Mexico people, you would never know that there is oatmeal in this chili, but it is nice, it's thick, it's very hearty. You can make a great enchilada with that. It's got that little kick, the spice, and once again, all in under 15 minutes. So for this and other recipes, visit my website at portionyourplate.com. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube.